Hello, so today we're going to be showing you guys how to take the doors off of a Suzuki Samari. There's a lot of videos out there that tell you need to take these hinges off to do it, but we're going to show you guys how to turn the hinges into detachable doors by just leaving the hinges on and making a few simple cuts. And we'll get back to you guys once we get the tools out. Alright, so now that we have some of the tools out that we needed, you're going to want to go to your lower bracket first, and on the upper portion there's a little latch right there. What you're going to be doing is cutting that off right there. And so on your lower portion you're going to want to tape around it so you know you don't want to scratch your paint or anything, so you know if you're getting close whenever it starts rubbing on the tape. So that's definitely a big step that you're going to want to need to do. Just tape that off for your paint. Alright guys, so we got our 3/4 inch metal drilling saw on our drill, and the point of this is to, on that top bracket, is to waller it out enough to get as much material off so it's less of a pain with a Dremel tool to go back in and get the rest of it off to make the door detachable. We'll get back to you guys when we're finished with that. Alright guys, here's about halfway in with the drill bit.
The 3/4 inch metal hole saw. We're gonna go a little bit deeper, and then we're gonna take the center bit out, and we're gonna keep going with the hole saw till we take that top, nip that top of the hinge off.
Just like that top in there.
Yep.
Just that top piece. Alright, we'll get back to you guys. Alright, we removed the center bit in our 3/4 inch metal hole saw, and we're gonna continue on the hole to get as much material off as we can. Alright, so we just finished with our drill bit, got the metal piece out, and now we're gonna go in with our cutting blade
Cut-off wheel on a Dremel tool.
Yeah, our cutting wheel Dremel tool. We're gonna go and clean off the excess metal.
Just to recap, we took this 3/4 inch metal hole saw and we drilled through the top of this hinge almost all the way through to the back side. At that point we stopped, pulled the plug out, and we're taking a cutoff wheel and we're cutting the rest of the hinge off. So if you look up top, we've just removed this piece from the top with a hole saw to remove most of the material, and we're taking a cutoff wheel and cutting the top edge of this hinge off.
We just got the last little piece out with the Dremel tool. That last little shard of metal. So can't get it out. There it is.
Ooh, it's hot.
Nice. It's a clean cut. Right there, it's what you want.
Tape off so you can see what we're doing here.
Oh yeah. It's still functionable.
And we left the hinges on. Didn't no need to take these.
No need.
Those screws that are hard to get off. As soon as we pop the door off, we'll do the top, and then we'll pop the door off, and then we'll file down those pins a little bit to make it easier for the door to go on and off.
All right, we'll get back to you guys.
All right, we took a 3/4 inch metal hole saw, and we went through the top edge of this hinge to remove the top to make these removable doors without removing the hinges. So the first thing we did is remove this material from the top edge of this hinge. Popped off like that. We removed the center bit, went all the way through. We were left with this little bit of material on the edge of the hinge, and we finished up with a cutoff wheel. Cutoff wheeled that little piece off, cleaned it up with a file, and now we're going to start with the next hinge up top. All right, we're going to go to the top hinge. I'm going to use a bigger cutoff wheel on a grinder. That little Dremel tool was just for the tight spaces for that recessed hinge. This hinge is not recessed, so it's a lot more accessible. I've taped it off. I'm going to make one cut vertical, and I'm going to make one cut horizontal right on top of that hinge to remove that whole top piece. Okay, we've made our first cut through the top edge of the hinge, and now we're going to make our horizontal cut and take the top of the hinge off completely through the pin.
All right, guys, we decided that we didn't need to cut that horizontal piece off, and we're just going to pull it off the pin from right there, and that will just like that with some pliers and weasel it out of there. Chisel maybe.
There we go.
Awesome. We'll get back.
All right, what we decided to do after we made our horizontal cut is to grind a little bit off of this edge of the outside of the hinge. We're going to spin it around, and then we're going to lift it off. So we ground a little bit of material off the backside so it'll clear this little bit of a lip. And we're almost there. There we go.
There it is. All right, so we're gonna lift the door up as high as we can, go.
Once you lift it up as high as you can, you're gonna, the video cut out, but you're gonna wanna lift it up as high as you can, and with the little Dremel tool, you wanna cut it off at the end so that it has enough room to clear the little wallard section. And you can see what we did later in the video.
So we just finished off cutting off the rest of the pins on the Suzuki door. We never took out the screws. This is a great alternative because those screws are very hard to take out. So here's the first test. Taking the door off. Slide the right off. Just like so. Works like a dream. Alright, so the one last step before taking the door off, there's a little latch here that is just a Phillips screwdriver that you're going to want to take out before you take the door off. Alright, so all those steps you're just going to want to repeat on the other door. Get me to 100 subscribers, guys, and I'll do a part 2 for the final reveal. Thanks.